Good evening. I welcome you once again to Matters Arising on KAFTANTV, and we're coming to you live from the Abuja studios. Matters Arising, as many of you know, is the flagship talk show of KAFTAN Television, which focuses on in-depth analysis, discussions of topical, trending, national and international issues by our team of seasoned broadcast journalists. Sorry about that. So tonight, my name still remains Dayo Omoogun.
As you all know, I am Oriri Richard. I never change. Good evening.
Okechukwu Onugbogu here. Good to have you there.
Now, this evening, I'd like to repeat our promise that we purpose to give you a program that is incisive, that is engaging, that is conversational. And to make this happen, your role is very, very important, so that at the appropriate time when the phone number is put on the screen, we would expect you to help us make the program as lively, as engaging, as robust as possible, so we can all build our nation to the better place that we all dream about. The number will be put on the screen at the appropriate time, but just in case you want to put it down somewhere, it's 080-299-38365. Very shortly, we should get to that point where you can call in. Please do call in, and when you do so, please put down the volume of your TV set and speak audibly as possible and make your points clearly. There's no need for any rambling. There's no need for repetitions. Just go to the point, make your point, and we'll be all cool. Thank you once again for joining in. And this evening, we go straight now to the issue that we are set to discuss, and it has to do with the fact that yesterday, once again, the price of fuel was hiked, and that threw Nigerians into a sort of an uproar. And so tonight, we want to discuss this. How long are we going to continue on this path? We want to discuss what exactly should we be doing to stem the tide. We want to discuss how come the government doesn't feel any compassion for the people, because that's what it's that's the picture that's been promoted, whether directly or indirectly. And so tonight, that's what we've come to discuss. And any of the panelists can straight away go and have a take.
It's good you said compassion. Empathy, yes.
Yes.
And all put together, this is what a caring, use the word, caring government and listening government should do. But I don't know. What we're seeing here is making it look as though we have a government that's not listening. Well, I did say earlier on, that is about a few months ago, and even earlier last month, when they started talking about the fact that when we get into October, since it will be the Naira thing, that it will be okay. And I said, it depends on how much they have decided to sell it. Because saying that it's okay, if they say that they will buy the crude at the same rate at which it is being sold in dollars, now changing it to Naira, it's still the same thing.
Right.
It hasn't gone anywhere. You know, it will be the same material that the man and his wife will be putting on, if you are my people. So, but what I'm saying is that that's what has eventually happened, because they brought it, and they said it will be sold that high, but this time in Naira. So no difference. No difference.
Well, no.
So what I'm saying is that I'm not surprised that they have taken up the price of fuel now to 998. 98, is it 98?
Yes,
okay.
2 naira short of 1,000.
Then the other one, that's in Abuja, in Lagos, and in FCT, 1,030 naira.
Right.
So you just see, someone said, and I want to believe it, that they've not finished. It will still go up.
Okay.
So we're waiting to see. And I just pray that God will help our people anyhow. Richard.
It's our collective problem. Yesterday I bought for 1,125 naira. And on my way from town to office here this evening, I bought for 1,050 naira from another different filling station. Okay. That's like
this evening is less than.
Rano sold for 1,050 naira. Rano. Yesterday I bought from Konoya for 1,125 naira.
Okay.
What is happening in Nigeria now is that we are there's energy crisis, insecurity in the country. And one of the major roles of NNPC in the petroleum industry bill is to ensure national energy security. And now they have failed in that their role. From what the communication, corporate communication strategist or corporate communication person of the NNPCL has told Nigerians and the world was that they are owing suppliers about $6.8 billion. And this debt that they are owing is making it difficult for supplier of PMS to NNPC to continue the supply. So they have a PMS in short.
PMS or crude?
PMS, petrol.
Okay.
They don't have it in a good quantity to distribute, for distribution. So because of this debt that they are owing is the reason that there's no much supply of fuel in the country, and that is one of the reasons we are having the prices up and down, not stable. But the problem there is that from what is going on, we should also see that the price will keep going up. And if you see that, if you see now clearly, you see clearly now that different filling stations, they sell at different rates. That means the monopoly chain is already broken. Every business person in the industry, they have their channel through which they get their fuel differently. And the way the channel with which you use in getting your PMS will decide how much you sell your own. That is what is going on in the market. So now, if you look at the happening, you will see clearly that even government have no control of the price. NNPC is the last resort for supply to Nigerians.
Would you say was?
The last resort. Because the suppliers, we have too many suppliers. We have too many suppliers. Say Rano, they are there to supply fuel to Nigerians. Other different oil, they are all there. But NNPC is the last resort. And now NNPC is not having fuel enough to supply to Nigerians.
But they have even said they have removed. They are no longer part of the system.
That's why I said was.
So they are not even in. They are not playing. They are
no longer in control over it.
They are in control. Yeah. But what they have come to tell Nigerians now is that they are owing. Initially, they denied owing.
The debt. Yes.
They denied debt, that they are not owing any debt.
Of course. Yes.
But I think they have come to realize that if they don't accept that debt, they will not have a way of taking some money behind closed door.
Yes.
For Nigerians, another style of corruption. You get my point. Something you initially said you were not owing. Not up to a month, you came out again to say you are owing. Who about $6.8 billion.
That there's still so much darkness around what happens in the NNPC. There's still so much lack of transparency in their dealings, in their transactions, that I mean, they seem to be holding us by the jugular. They seem to be holding us to ransom.
Yes.
How long is this going to continue? I mean, you just said that, is it you or both of you also have alluded to the possibility that the cost will be rising?
Yes,
very scary. I mean, if you're at 1,000, officially 1,030, and people are buying at 1,200, 1,300. In Enugu, I was on the press this morning. In Enugu, as of this morning, people are buying at 1,300. You can imagine that. So, if you say it's going to go up, we're already looking at 1,500.
That's what that one
how
is
is this
talking
sustainable?
Right now, go to Anambra State. I won't be surprised that it's being sold at 1.5. You see, Anambra seems to be a different place altogether. In fact, the southeast, all these things people are talking about here, talking about this price, it has always been high all the while
in many places,
the southeast,
even in the north.
Yeah, okay. Like now, yes. I think some part of the north, like Jigawa or so, had it like that some time ago. But I have always known it that in the southeast, it's always been high. That was why sometimes people will now leave Onitsha and go to Asaba
to go and
get fuel. Okay. At a stage, do you know that customs would prevent vehicles carrying what do you call it? Fuel from entering Anambra State. They will say it's not for the state, that the allocation is for Delta State. That was why some wise businessmen in Igbo land, in Anambra and in particular, had to go to Asaba to start opening filling stations. There. Since you said it's not for, then if it comes to my filling station, I have another one in Onitsha. I can move it to that place. It's still my own.
Yes.
That was what they started doing. I'm telling you, all the while, it's not been easy. So it's not that people are seeing this thing, I smile, because this is what has been happening since you can think of having fuel in this country. It's been like that. Even when we are getting fuel at 65 naira. 65. If you would go to Anambra State then, you will get fuel at 85, 95, 100, 120. Even so in Abia. So anyway, what I want to say is that country is not seeing what
presently in Nigeria, where we have been complaining of insecurity in banditry area, insecurity in assassination, insecurity in different angle.
Yes.
But presently before us, the energy insecurity in this country is the worst insecurity that we have now presently.
Yes.
This evening, a friend called me. He traveled from Abuja today, going to the village. He is going to my village. He got to Otukpo late this evening, and no vehicle going to our place because of that road. We don't have road in my local government completely.
That is
and from Otukpo now to my village, normally you can get bike from Otukpo to my village for 3,000. But this evening now they are taking him. Yes, but this evening now he said they are taking him from Otukpo to my village for 15,000.
Oh, not even 5 or 10.
15 good thousand. Because of
15,000.
15,000. I am telling you.
That's even more expensive than from Abuja to the
yes, bike to the village. 15,000. How many village person in my place can afford 15,000 naira to come to the city center in Otukpo to get something or to take their food produce to?
Please, Richard, you should have asked him how much did it cost you from Abuja to Otukpo first?
From Abuja to Otukpo now is around 12,000 naira.
You can imagine that.
So
something that was around 800, 1,200 before.
And this thing you're saying before,
12,000.
This thing you're saying before is not like 2 years ago.
No, it's this year.
It's just about few months ago.
Yes, you understand? So
even please let me
the insecurity in the energy sector in this country is something that government should declare state of emergency.
That was what
state of emergency in the energy sector.
The head of NNPC asked for some time ago. But when I had that, I also
Nigerians are dying
because you are the one creating the emergency and you want the country to declare this. You are the person at the helm of affairs, and you. Anyway, I want to say something else that I found out about all these things. 980 naira per liter, and then 1,030. You see, I think something is coming out of this thing. I was thinking maybe they will start maybe 95, 135, 132, so that if they can start doing it like that, so that we return our coins one more time. Because I return our coins and then use the 5 naira and 10 naira that people don't use any longer. Let's start using it because these things are
what
money.
Will it buy?
After all, that is even part of what the IMF wants. And since they are dancing to the tune of IMF, they can continue like that. So the place 92 naira, so that we look for 8 naira to give to the person. 97, we look for 3 naira. 97 naira, 50 kobo. Remember?
So we can complicate our problems more.
So this way, they will return those small ones. That's what IMF wants. Let's see if it will help. And the other thing I want to say before you start going further is that our president, remember, he is a minister for petroleum. So we are waiting for the minister to explain to us what is happening.
Prince Adole Adebayo tagged him fuel attendant.
Okay. I heard Okechukwu saying something that we are not where we want to be, but we are getting better.
Really?
There is nothing that is better.
Nothing is better.
Let it clear to everyone. There is nothing that is getting any better.
Maybe they mean the fact that, because I've read some things today where they said the real deregulation is like we're inching towards full deregulation. Maybe that's what the man means.
Okay. That
now,
is to make us prepare.
Richard, the distance of the 15,000 naira, like how long with the bike?
Otukpo is a different local government, but is the capital city of the entire Idoma nation.
Okay.
Yes.
And my community is situated in Adon local government.
Right.
They share boundary. My local government and Otukpo, they have boundary. And from my local government headquarters, Gumale, to my village is just like about 9 kilometers.
Okay.
That's what?
Yes.
So
initial
15,000.
15,000 to my village is Ijiban. The whole world should. My village name is Ijiban district.
No, let's try and take a look at what it is like, what 9 kilometers is like from where we are right now.
Many things.
Towards Kubwa.
Well,
many things put together. Many things put together is the problem. One, the fuel hike. 2, roads are bad. 3, it's night. It's late now. Night now. Even vehicles
the rain can be forgotten.
So too many things. The situation of the road, I think, contributes 70%. The situation of the road, not even few affairs.
Yes.
We have an early caller. Let's see if. Hello.
Please remember to reduce the volume of your TV set, caller.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening. You're welcome. What's the name and where are you calling from?
My name is Mohammed Abdurrazak. I call him from Kogi State.
Okay. Let's hear you.
Should tune down the volume of your
I think that the volume of your TV set is... Hello? I think that the volume of your TV set is high. We've lost him. So, I think that this is a very serious matter. We don't even yet see the possibilities, the spillovers, the possible, what do they call it now? The possible consequences
as a result of this.
As a result of this. Like you said the other time, people are dying.
Oh.
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Bernard. I'm calling from Oriri.
I think that the volume of your TV set is on the high side. Go on now. Oh, okay.
Just caution them. Anybody, before you call, tune down completely the volume of your TV set.
It's even been written. It's written there.
Yes, anyone that call like that, you cut. You ignore the person.
Now let me tell you something else. You see, you are talking about people are dying. Even among the ones that are living now, let's even face the living before the dying. Yes, let's face the living before the dying. You see, do you know that going to work now is a difficult thing?
It's a huge
because people. Now, it is now that you begin to appreciate the way people worked during the what is that thing? The lockdown period. Where they said we should work from home. Please, every office should have the means of making people work from home now.
Very
because
important.
If not, whatever you think you're giving that person that is your staff as salary is useless.
Guess what? A lot of people are resigning their job.
Yeah, because
they're going to have to spend the entire money on transport and even have to borrow.
I know somebody that resigned this September that just ended. I saw this fellow, and it was unusual to see her around because he would always leave very early in the morning and come late.
I'd like us to take this.
Okay.
Hello?
Hello.
Good evening.
What's happening today?
Hello?
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Abdulaziz Mohammed, calling from Kogi.
Let's hear you quickly.
I'm a one primary school teacher in Gapa here.
Okay.
All
right.
Right.
Okay.
Before, when I go to the school, when I get the job, I always wear my tank. I use it for 1 week, which is 11,000 naira or 12,000 naira. Then I use it from Monday to Friday. Probably now, if I want to go to that school now, I have to pay my tank at rate of 35,000 naira.
Oh.
The salary I'm earning is 65,000 naira, 55,000 a monthly. Then I always go every day coming back. If I go, I come back. If I go, I come back. Look at the situation on ground now. If I can pay my tank at rate of 35,000 naira, I'm going to gain my job. Because the fare is very cost.
So 11,000 to 38,000. That's like almost over 3 times.
That's taking the whole of his salary.
300,
2 weeks fuel will take the whole of his salary.
And before, if I pay that fuel, I always go complete a week. I'll just pay my tank. Then I'll go from Monday to Friday. And now I can't be able to go to work in maybe 3 times in a day. Because the pay is cost.
So now let's look at this. You mean that in a month before you spend like 44,000?
Yes.
Now in a month you're talking about 76 plus 76. That's 2. That's 152,000. If you have to continue fueling.
And his salary is 65,000.
55. 55.
Oh, 55.
Yes.
Thank you. I think you can go off so we can talk to another person now.
You listen to us.
Listen to us, please. This is something else.
I say there is insecurity. This is in Nigeria, in the energy sector. There is so much insecurity. There is insecurity.
You know, if you don't hear it sometimes like this, you don't have a graphic understanding of.
That's why I said
from 44,000 to 152,000.
That's why I said that before we start talking about people that are dying, look at the ones that are living. Are they even living well?
You know what is going on now in Nigeria? From the little statistics that I have gathered, what is going on now is urban-rural migration. People are leaving the city now to villages and causing problems in the village presently, because back in the village there's even nobody to give you 1 naira.
Let's see if we
and in the city here, nothing the best. Instead, you will die of hunger here. You go back to your village.
Good evening.
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Good evening, KAFTAN Television.
Yeah, yes. You're welcome to KAFTAN Television.
This is Moses from Ujo.
Right.
I am happy that people have shown those supporting him. The most wicked thing that no human can ever imagine. But let him know, I always say this every time, Tinubu will pay back what he has done for Nigeria one day.
Well, so he should be soft in his words.
See, you're talking about the president here. You need to be guided.
How will we buy fuel from 197 naira to 1,000 something for just 1 year, and it's flying all over the world? What are we doing here? Is this a nation that will survive? Are we going forward? Nothing works here. People are dying, hungry everywhere. Now we will see to discover that one day the whole system will collapse because we don't have money to go to work. Those that currently do salary will only finish by fuel. How are we going to survive? No food, no transportation, no fuel, nothing, no electricity. People are dying every day, and no mercy. What can we do?
Thank you. Very touching thoughts there. Thanks. Just keep watching, please. My God. Now,
I want to remember that other one. The young man that is spending
152.
Yes.
Let's take this together. So
yes.
Hello.
Hello. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Yes. My name is Matthew. I'm calling from Niger State.
Okay.
Yes. I just believe that Nigerians are very resilient because I want to take a cue from the man that just spoke before the last person. Before Tinubu came to government, I fuel my tank twice in a month to do school running and boat work, which cost me only 32,500 naira. But right now, to fill my tank at once in a month will cost me about 91,000 naira.
At once?
At once.
That is for 1 month. And normally you should do that twice in a month, normally.
Normally I should do that twice in a month.
If you have to undertake that now, we're talking about 182,000 naira.
Yes, and the minimum wage in Nigeria is just 70,000 naira. So I don't know, an average worker that can survive with that 70, even if you put them at 250,000 naira, it won't take them anywhere. And we are expecting the president to even say something. With all the hardship that is in town, the insecurity, the man which in the city is talking about the emergency, to declare state of emergency in the energy sector. The electricity is not there to support the small and medium scale enterprises. All these are compounding issues that will take Nigeria back to where it has never been. Because if we continue like this, things will never be the same. And Nigeria will not have peace. That is what the government of the day is trying to do. And I think that we need to call them to attention so that they can come back to the right track. People put them in that office. They are not just there for them.
Thank you, Matthew.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Matthew. Did you hear that? 182,000 naira.
I said it. So what we are saying is we will return to what it used to be during the lockdown. Do work from home. That people that normally would go to work 5 times a week may now have to make it just 2 times a week, not even talking about 3 times, so that it will get close to what it used to be for them. Because if not, you see that they will spend all the money on the road. Remember, I was saying, of course, I was saying there was somebody I know that resigned from work because of the transport fare to go to work and come back has overtaken the salary.
Exactly.
3 times.
Several people are resigning
in
their
September.
Jobs. Yeah.
Not talk of now that it has even added more. So these are the things we need to consider.
Please, let's see what this person has. Hello.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, my brother.
I want to just put a little contribution about what I heard from the television about whether they will have the sympathy concerning the petrol.
It would be nice to have your name and your location.
Okay, I was calling from River State. This is Owofori.
Owofori, all right.
Yes, Owofori.
Go ahead.
So, please, this dollar we are talking about, this high rate of dollar. In Nigeria, we didn't use dollar in Nigeria. Maybe if what we have, it cannot be able to contain us.
at least they can be able to get it for other sources the way we are getting it for at a cheap price. They can get it back like that. Okay, now something was very difficult. Even all this food all over everywhere. Now I'm not using dollars. Why can't you? Why the president? He can't start to print a new money. At least it will be equivalent to the dollars. And let us have 10,000 naira note, have 5,000 naira note, have a 20,000 note, have 30,000 note, have 50,000. That is equivalent to the dollar. At least if we want to short, I think it should be a little different so that something can come. At least if we buy something now, we can have enough change in our hand. Like, take an example now. 1,000 now, you cannot collect change again.
No,
see, my brother, I want to believe, I want to believe you are deliberately adding this funnier side to it, because see, it's not a possible way to go. If you do that, very shortly you will ask us to go to 100,000 naira note and go to 200,000 naira note. So definitely that's not the way to go. But just conclude your thoughts so we can.
Actually, I was split because this little time we have now, maybe about last week ago, at least fuel started to drop. They just between day before yesterday, fuel started to increase price again, which now people start to afraid. And even to eat is a problem. Take example, somebody was working, taking on a salary of 55,000 naira, spending for expenditure of 150 something thousand. Is he going front or is he dying? They should help so that the Nigeria will not collapse. If maybe the president don't have order to give for Nigeria, at least look at where things supposed to be. At least it should even want to declare state of emergency so that government can start to give order for each state. It should be better so that government have the power to control for each state.
We will need to now round up. We will need to quickly now round up.
So I plead because I didn't see what the federal people that are doing there. It's not like maybe they use the poor people to benefit for themselves. So the poor will remain dying. Then they will be benefiting people. So it's not good.
Well,
at least they help us.
Thank you, Awofori.
I beg.
Thank you. This is exactly what the conflict theory talks about, that there's a constant struggle between the bourgeois,
yes,
the haves, and then
the
have-nots. Consistently, that these forces are consistently at work and they are intentional.
Yes.
And you see, so, and that's what he just expressed. Because the way it is, of course, the poor are getting poorer. Then the rich, the real rich, are getting far richer, the way this is going. And so the gap keeps widening like a gulf, and there's no effort to close the gap. As we speak, there's really no middle class any longer. It's either that you are poor or you are rich. And that's a very dangerous place to be.
It reminds me of Animal Farm.
The problem we are facing, I think this is the time, the right time, that our national security advisor will advise the president.
Mr. President, I tell you.
Because what is going on in the energy sector is a national security issue.
As it's going on in the energy sector, so it's going on in the food sector,
education sector,
every sector. So you hear what that guy said? He said before the entire nation collapses.
I said, look at teachers making calls, teachers calling. What if they withdraw from teaching? What will happen to the school? This is national security problem. Education is facing serious national security issue.
You see,
the energy sector is facing serious national security issue.
You see, generally Nigerians are very, very resilient and very. If you ask me, should I use the word fearful? They easily line up with whatever is the government directives. But see, there's a point to which you push people. There's a point to which you frustrate people. There's a point to which people get hungry, and the anger will burst into an explosion. I hope that we don't push ourselves to that point, because somebody is talking, we're just talking transport. We're just talking fuel in a car. We have not talked about paying school fees. We have not talked about paying rent. You have not talked about food.
If you talk about the tariff in NEPA
tariff.
And you pray that these persons you're talking about don't get sick, because when they get sick, the cost of maintenance you're talking about health is something else altogether.
Differently.
I really think that
my God.
the government really needs to look at these matters very seriously. It's not funny, and it's touching everyone. Everyone you meet are talking the same thing. Let's take this call and see what it got. Hello?
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, my brother.
My name is Awusko from Kaduna.
Yeah,
Okay, Awusko, you're welcome. You're a regular, right?
Yeah, I'm a regular. You guys are doing a great job there.
Thank you,
very
Awusko.
You see, really, Nigerians are groaning. Groaning under an anguish that is self-inflicted. You see, the Nigerian political class are responsible for the corruption that has bedeviled this country. They siphoned our money into Western banks, and they are living in affluence, and now they are giving Nigerians suffering in the name of policies that have been pushed down our throat by Western countries, the IMF and the World Bank. Do they derive pleasure that we should be dying on the street of Nigeria? The president must get back to roots and devise an indigenous method that will safeguard Nigeria, because this groaning, suffering will reach a boiling point that it will not be contained.
Awusko, I'm all with you, but we need to run for a break.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks for all your contributions all the time. Yeah.
Thank you, Awusko.
All right.
Country is boiling.
So after this break, we will continue to take more calls, and then we also weigh in from here and see how far it goes.
In the beginning, God created a beautiful world.
3, 2, 1. Action.
And that's why at KAFTAN Television,
we imagine a beautiful world.
We are not just bragging.
We blaze the trail in broadcasting. And it is about you.
At KAFTAN TV, broadcasting is not just about information, education, and entertainment.
it's an aggregation of all you need to know in Nigeria
and around the world to create signal.
At KAFTAN Television, we have all it takes to be on top in broadcasting.
Our mission is simple: to project Africa in a truthful yet positive manner.
Wait, we're coming to you in style.
Here we are, starting from September.
Look at what the facts are.
And as you say on KAFTAN TV, imagine a beautiful world.
Do you want wider patronage of your goods and services?
Do you want your goods and services to have traction?
Do you desire to make more sales and increase your return on investment?
KAFTAN TV has got you covered because you can achieve all this with reasonable amount of money.
With modest charges, we are the best around here for advertising and product promotion.
Whatever you want to say it for us on KAFTAN TV.
We are a global multimedia platform aimed at positioning the African viewpoint.
On Startimes channels 480 and 124, and free-to-air NIGCOMSAT channels 12518, symbol rate 29500.
With crystal clear digital signals, we reach no fewer than 54 million viewers around the world. For advert bookings and sponsorship of programs, please call
Silas on 081 615 19559, Khadija on 070 713 72115, or Ruben on 080 234 47703.
KAFTAN TV.
Imagine a beautiful.
Welcome back, viewers. We're still on Matters Arising, coming to you live from KAFTAN Television, the Abuja studios. And we've been talking about the hike in fuel price again. And we've been taking your calls. We'll take this one again, and then we'll come back to the studio. Hello? I guess that was lost before I got there. So, what's the problem?
Okay, we can continue.
Yes,
while we
please,
wait
let's
for them.
continue. Yeah.
The fact is that, just as they have mentioned it, I was thinking about that young man, that teacher. You know, I was trying to suggest if you would now move into that community and start living there. But then,
you never can see whether he currently lives in his own house.
That's the point. Logistics involved may make it more difficult for him even to go there.
Yeah.
Because if he gets there, he'll still need to get a house,
yeah, exactly.
pay the house
rent,
and
move
maybe
his things.
Yes, move his things. And maybe the house rent, paying the house rent will be more difficult than coming from his home, where he was coming from. So that's another thing altogether. So I keep saying, maybe for teachers, you know, if he gets there on a Monday, then he will try and teach the things that he will teach for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Try to see how we can package it and conclude and go.
In which case,
then come again.
So how many teachers would they have to modify the timetable for? That's
the idea. So that maybe, you know, you can come on Monday. You just do only 3 subjects where only those 3 teachers will come.
Okay.
They will spend that time and teach all that they need to teach within that period.
Indeed, I agree that we have to be a lot more creative.
Yes, and then Tuesday, only 3 teachers will also come.
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah.
I'm in Joseph calling from Cross River State, Obudu.
Okay, so let's hear you.
I hope those our leader are they a human being that have sense to think about other the poor people.
We can be more civil than this.
They are human beings. Go ahead.
Go on.
Now, I don't have to have in Nigeria, even mostly in Cross River State here. The phone that we are buying here up to 1,004.
1,004.
We don't know how we are going. And the leader should look over it because we are suffering. People are dying. So that's what I have. The leader should look over it.
Thank you so much. Did you hear that?
People are dying.
Cross River.
Yes.
1,400. I told you. So it keeps going down because it's not just this Abuja and Lagos price.
Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Yeah.
I'm calling from Onugbogu.
Yeah.
And I'm following the program.
And your name is?
My name is Dr. Sylvester.
Dr. Sylvester, you're welcome. Let's have your contribution.
Thank you so much. Now, talking about this fuel hike and everything we're going through in Nigeria, there's only one question I want to ask. Are we Nigerians really ready for a change? Because what I see is all about hypocrisy and people just talking and lip service. I want to advise that Nigerians should look within. Let's begin to make some changes from within us. I'm not the political class, but it is a very terrible thing that even when things are supposed to be cheap, we inflate the price ourselves. So let's move from within before just putting the whole blame on the government. So it's a government and people issue. That is my take on it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
I want to say something to this doctor.
That's also true.
I want to say something to that doctor. Doctor, what you're saying is that if somebody gets banana from his compound, he should sell it for 500 naira instead of selling it for 1,005 because he got it from his compound. If he sells it for 500, what will 500 give him? These are the things you need to consider.
How will he pay for rent?
How would he pay? How would he buy the other things that other people are saying?
Yeah.
So you don't blame anybody that is selling anything at any price now, because what that person is trying to do is to be able to meet up with the next thing that he or she needs. So you don't blame akara seller that you know that the akara seller will go to buy the beans. You know how much beans is. In fact, their own is different. They even not go there. But talk about the ones that you have vegetable in your house and you have a farm and a garden.
Yes,
and then you collect
it.
Yes, you harvest and you go to the market. You won't say, oh, everybody come and take it for 20 naira because I harvested it from my house. If you finish, you will go home with only 600 naira. Then you will see that you have no money
because
at all.
in the first instance, when you sell those things, you must recover your costs, your transport. You must transport yourself back, and then there are needs that you must also meet.
Yes.
I mean,
you need to buy something else to go home with.
Hello.
Hello. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, this is Joseph calling from Ekiti State.
Okay.
I want to say a well done job to you, brothers in the house.
Thank you very much.
To me, I can see some things are happening in this country. Number one, the legal president of the very Nigeria we are having nowadays, I don't see them doing their work. Because these are the people that represent the masses. I'm expecting them to put on the horn of faithfulness. Try to work out things that at least people will be able to look up to them, defending the masses. I could remember the last time Mr. President said that for him to pay more than 70,000 naira, then it's going to increase the fuel price. They agreed that, okay, Mr. President should not increase the fuel price and it should be 70,000 naira. Now, almost 3 times, up to 3 times now, the fuel price has been increased. And mind you, if leave 70,000 naira, nothing has been said about it. Not to talk of paying to any civil servant in the country. Now, I want to believe one thing. If they continue like this, before that, I want to say that the leaders of the country, they have forgotten that the masses are greater than them. When masses arrive, the point whereby they want to make a voice or stand up for themselves, they won't be able, the leaders of the country will not be able to anchor or handle anything. That is just it. Another way is this.
Yeah.
The issue of the food we hit daily. Even the price of the food, there's a man that said it the other time that working at home will be okay.
Yeah.
Now, if Mr. President and the country should take a good note on this, if we begin to teach our children from home or something unusual like this, during this of pandemic, you discover that this country will not move forward any longer. An issue of food, like I said the other time, people are finding it very difficult to eat this thing. You might decide not to travel. If you stay at home, say you want to work at home, can you tell me what you're going to buy or what you want to eat at the end of the day? Most of the parents that have more than 3, 4, 5 children at home, what do we talk about them? So these are things I want to say. Mr. President should make sure that act on this very issue before it gets out of hand.
Thank you, Joseph.
Nigeria will not go.
Yeah, thank you, Joseph. Joseph just said something that I like us to look at. I don't know whether that applies to Nigeria. I know that usually the people are greater than the people in government, the masses. Does that apply to Nigeria?
Well, I don't know if I'll say it does, because of the fact that the people who you refer to as the masses, when they want to take action now, there'll be a clampdown on them.
Okay.
Talk about all these things. What has happened? So everybody needs to think about his life first of all.
What is there is that the people who exported this democracy to us, this liberal democracy to us, they really saw that the highest office in any democratic state is the office of the people. Meaning democratic power resides
with the people. Ordinarily, yes.
But
the face of it.
But since our value system doesn't think towards that direction, our value system here is that government is meant for the elite.
And they lord it over.
And they lord it over themselves.
Over the people. Over the people.
Over the people. So now that everything concerning governance is about themselves, not about the people. If not, governance should be for problem solving. And now see problem everywhere.
Everywhere. As if rather than solve the problems, the problems are being created.
Looking right, looking left, front, back, problem everywhere. And nobody seems to be seeing this problem to solve them. So I think the government now in Africa, that is why sometimes, like I try my thesis now, what I'm to write about is democracy and good governance in crisis
in Africa.
But I'm picking Nigeria as my case study. Case study of Nigeria from 1999 to 2023. Democracy is in crisis. Seriously, if you look all the ingredients, the indicators of democracy, we are not seeing them. Democracy should be about development.
Exactly.
Democracy should be about a human dignified life for masses, for the people. Democracy should be about the people. But as it is now, majority, 70-80% of the population
have been emasculated.
They are crying.
Let's take one or two more and then we'll wind down. Hello?
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
First lady.
Is a man. Hello?
Our issue
what's your name?
My name is Timothy.
Timothy, right?
Yes, I'm going from Benin State.
Edo State, okay.
So, this is our issue where what will we call it? Is the increasing of the salary of this thing. To me, I thought that the salary addition have no meaning, because if you check up the minimum wage of last of 80,000 naira, before you use 16,000 naira of fuel, you will have like 181 liters of fuel, just 1,000 naira. But now, 7,000 naira that they are giving us, you will use the 70,000 naira less than 50 liters. So if you divide this thing into two now, you take it that in short, even though if you use 15,000 naira, you still have 15,000 naira to take care of your family. You will use fuel of 181 liters. It will take you up to a month. But now, without that 70,000 naira, it will take you up to a week. So, to me, I'm saying that that minimum wage have nothing to help us Nigeria. The solution there is the federal government to find a way for them to give down the price of the fuel.
All right,
because
thank you.
We have nothing else for this Nigeria that can support us apart from the fuel.
All right, thank you, Timothy. Thank you very much for your contribution. This guy, who was it Joseph before this Timothy, who was talking about? Yeah, thank you, Timothy. Now, he was talking about the fact that NLC has not done anything, I don't think that is correct.
No,
because
not
even
correct.
yesterday, the NLC president immediately reacted to the increase in price.
Yes.
But there's only so much they can do. We have seen how they really don't have any breathing space, as it were.
Of course, yes.
When the end hunger protest was on, the Labour was not part of it, but Labour statement that they should please ensure that people are not killed in the process. It was received very badly by the government. And on the strength of that, that's, I mean, quote and unquote, some people feel that was what also triggered
the disturbance of the president
exactly.
of NLC.
So how long can he continue to be under such this and work effectively? So I think that we must really go to the tenets of democracy. First of all, the government must begin to go back and realize that we have a right to speak. In democracy, the majority have their say. I mean, have their way. But the minority must have their say. We just must have our say. Else, it's as good as we are dead while still being alive. Of what use is it to be alive and you can't point out that you are hungry, and that the system is making you hungry, it's impoverishing you.
Okay, let me say
how long are we going to
more.
continue that? We must say to government that we need to speak how we feel, at least.
That is why democracy is there.
Exactly.
This democracy
it's for dialogue.
See, that's the on paper.
We are dialoguing now.
Yes, on paper. But in reality, we don't seem to be practicing democracy
at all.
It's only when you look at it, hey, it is, if you write it down, it's okay.
This is how it is,
yes.
in theory.
But when we want to practicalize the thing that we're seeing in our country, I've not seen democracy
at work at all.
I don't know whether you have seen it. You tell me.
I mean, just a few days ago, we had reports that protesters who were handed into detention had to come and pay 5 million naira each as bail bond. Who does that? Some of these people are clearly innocent. They are activists. If you find the what do you call them now, criminals among them, deal with them. By all means, deal with them. But people who are known to have their work, people who are known to be professionals, just joining in a protest, and that is criminalized. I asked Maxwell Opera the other day, asked him, is there a difference between protesting and terrorism? He said yes.
A whole difference.
I mean, even me, I was just asking to get a professional so that maybe I'm confusing things. It's not that you and I don't know that there's a whole difference between that. So as we go tonight, my take is to say to our dear President, you are the father of the nation. You are the father of this nation for now. Whether anybody likes it or not, you are the father of the nation, and you must treat us as your children. And no father enjoys the children being wasted. No father enjoys the children being ravaged by hunger and sickness and all whatnot. So our dear father of Nigeria, for this time, God has purposed it so. Please go back. Luckily, you are on vacation right now. Please take this time to really rethink some of your policies, so that we don't get into a situation where half of the nation will either be perished or be perishing. You understand that? The ones that are not yet perished.
We're getting ready for perishing.
So that's my take. My name is Dayo Omoogun. Good night.
My own briefly will be that the National Security Advisor, straight, please, take this country to be a country that should be safe for now. We are into serious national security problem. Advise the president with the little money that Nigerians are paying you from the tax that we are paying. Advise the president that we are in serious security challenge in this country. In the energy sector, in the agri sector, education sector, all the sectors, we are in serious national security threat. Please advise the president to do something for Nigeria not to die.
Which way, Nigeria?
Which way?
Which way, Nigeria? Which way to go? Which way to go? I love my fatherland. I want to know which way Nigeria is heading to. May the best happen to us all. Okechukwu Onugbogu here.
And so we want to say thank you to the production team, to the producer of this program. I want to say a big thank you to all who called from Rivers, from Bayelsa, from Ekiti, from Kogi, from everywhere. Thank you for making this program your program and for staying tuned all the time to KAFTAN television. Please never change your station. Tomorrow is another time. We will be here with Matters Arising. Macaulay Hunohashi and his team will be here. And
it's okay.
That's it. And bye-bye. Thank you.